Hi, I'm Dave Chun. I'm the paddle designer at KIALOA Paddles. The paddle I'm going to talk to you about is a Paea. And I can tell you the dimensions of the paddle, all the boring stuff. It's 9.5 inches wide, it's 18.5 inches tall, 120 square inches. But I thought what I'd tell you is the story of the Paea, because all my paddles have a story. It's a 4-part story. The first part starts in the gorge, and that's where I ran into George Kronstadt. George Kronstadt is a 3-time winner of the Super Ito. And that makes you like the greatest paddler in the world that year. Kronstadt and I were discussing what we liked in paddles. I told him I like flexible blades with a stiff shaft. Kronstadt says he likes a stiff blade and he likes to flex in the shaft. So in the next project, I decided maybe since George has 3 more Super Ito wins than I do, that I might try and build something in the vein, kind of idea with George. So my friend Tiger Taylor, I ordered a V1 from him and it happened to show up. So I decided to prototype Tahitian style paddles because I had a Tahitian V1. So one of the paddles I worked on was the Paea at the time. And it was very challenging for me to not build something I wanted, but to think about George as I built this whole project. And what happened as it evolved was I started to understand what George was talking about. I would think about him a lot when I shaped this paddle and when I tested. The third part of the story is I ended up just getting invited to Tahiti. And I just finished the prototype, the Paea, so I took it with me to Tahiti, got the paddle V1 there. Where I stayed was outside of Papeete in a place called Paea. And because of that, that whole experience there where I finished the prototyping, I decided to name this paddle Paea. Fourth part of the story is 3 weeks before Molokai, I got a call from Karel Tresnick Jr. He's a pretty good paddler. He's won the Molo Solo 7 times. He says, I need a stiffer hoku. Can you make me a stiffer hoku? And I thought, how do I make the hoku stiffer? This is for his crew at Lanikai. And then I remembered, I had just gotten the first 5 Paeas off the production line, and I had them. So it's a Friday afternoon, I turned around, I went back to work. Put on the shafts, built the paddles. Monday morning, put them in the mail. I sent them out to Lanikai. They tested them, they liked them. Ended up getting 3rd in the 2017 Molokai Hawaii. And that is the story of the Paea.